My Patriots.
My.
My.
That's
Yes.
right.
Hi, everybody. Good
Good morning.
morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Push the
What's
button, they're
going
saying. Push the button.
on?
It's 6
Hey,
a.m. here. Oh,
remember how Patty is on her like all country tour? Patty the Insider
yes.
from the Facebook Insider. She's on tour basically visiting other Chicks on the Right insiders. I
Yes, I
forgot to
love
show
it.
you this yesterday, but she went to Morgan's house yesterday. I think, is it yesterday? Yeah, Tuesday. Tuesday, she was at Morgan's house. And Morgan wrote and said, Patty J made it safely last night, and we are enjoying coffee together this morning, watching you all. And her hashtags were so funny.
Oh, my
She
God.
said, hashtag no makeup, hashtag what up, my bitches, hashtag balls, hashtag insiders for life. And then they sent this picture.
Oh, my God. I love them.
Isn't that the
I
cutest?
love them so much.
And
That looks
look,
like
there
so
we
much
are in the
fun.
background. Do you see
Oh,
us on
my
the
gosh.
TV?
There we are on the big screen. Like, I don't even want to know what I look like in high definition at 6 a.m. I don't know. I don't want to know.
I just love that so
That's some
much.
scary, scary stuff. That's awesome. I love them. I love the insiders. You guys got to join the insiders.
For real.
Such a fun group.
You can do it if you go to the Chicks on the Right Facebook page and look for the Become a Supporter button. Thank you, Manuel, and thank you, Anna Banana. She says, good morning, ladies. Thank you for all you do. How about that Pelosi? Yeah, we're going to get to that.
We're going to
in
get to
just a minute.
Pelosi. Yeah, we're getting to her.
Don't you worry. But first, we need to talk about the fact that there are, you know how yesterday we talked about how there's a Taco Bell food shortage? Taco
Right.
Bell's having some struggle. They're on the struggle bus.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just Taco Bell. So it is also Chick-fil-A. It is Starbucks. And then in the grocery stores, we are talking about an olive oil shortage, Nutella. There's a
What?
shortage. I knew you'd be very upset about that.
That's where I go.
And cilantro, of all things. There's
That's
also
weird.
a cilantro shortage.
That's very bizarre. I don't use a lot of cilantro, but all the other things are kind of bizarre. I've also noted, notice in our, I think I mentioned this yesterday, like in our convenience stores, there's a cup shortage, things like that, just weird supply shortages all over the place. So anyways, we're not saying that things like crap is getting real, but we're not saying that crap is getting real. Y'all need to be prepared for stuff. Just saying.
That's
just
exactly right.
It's good to feel prepared, you know? So you need to check out our friends at My Patriot Supply. Get some food. You know, Mock loves their banana chips. They're good. You can, if you want to like bust into the bucket, if you feel like you need to, you can chew on some banana chips.
They are really good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I'm just saying.
Mhm.
And it is such a nice sense of, what's the word? Like you just have like
Security.
a sense of security when you know that you have a 4-week kit all contained in these just 2 handy dandy containers that you can throw in your garage, and you have 4 weeks of food ready to go in case of a crisis. And like the way that the world is going right now, you just never know when there's going to be another grocery run and people are going to be like taking stuff off the shelves and en masse. And so it's really good to be prepared. And right now you can save 25% off on that 4-week emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. Just go to preparewiththechicks.com. And you're going to see our little picture. It's like our very own website and everything. You're going to see our picture
really cool.
right on there.
It's really
right?
cool. Yeah, right.
So do that. Okay, so the first things first, we're going to get to the Pelosi and McCarthy fight in just a minute, but we have to talk about this town hall of Biden's last night. Oh my God, did you guys see?
Yeah. A couple of days ago when they announced this, I was like, remember I texted you and I was like, oh my God, they're doing it. Like Don Lemon is going to be moderating a town hall. Like how completely biased and like, you know, kissing his butt is this going to be, which is exactly what it ended up being. Like there were no really hard hitting questions, right? I mean, there may be a couple of weird questions where he was a little uncomfortable, but for the most part, it wasn't like if they could have, like if they had Peter Ducey in there, it would have been great.
That's oh my God, can you imagine him moderating?
That's what I want to see. I want to see a town hall with Peter Ducey and people that actually will ask questions, you know?
Don't hold your breath, is all I'm saying about that.
Not gonna happen.
I didn't watch it because but I did catch all the viral clips this morning from that, and I think they can all be summed up in the one clip I'm going to share with you because It is incoherent babbling. And it doesn't even matter what the question is, because the way that he answers it is just absolutely incoherent. I will embiggen. And let me make sure the volume is up. So the question, apparently, according to the screen, is when will kids under 12 be able to get vaccinated? I don't even know what this answer is. Let's listen.
That's underway, just like the other question is illogical. And I've heard you speak about it because I'm not being solicitous, but you're always straight up about what you're doing. And the question is whether or not we should be in a position where you why can't the experts say, we know that this virus is in fact it's going to be, excuse me, we know why all the drugs approved are not temporarily approved, but permanently approved. Yeah. That's underway too. I expect that to occur quickly.
Well, that means you mean for the FDA?
For the FDA. Yeah. That's underway.
I love that Don Lemon was like, oh, you mean this, right? Like you mean through, because you gotta help
I would
him.
be like, what the hell do you mean? How do you even say, oh, you mean this? Because what the hell does he mean? He makes no sense. He's like, oh my God, it's like a stream of consciousness, crazy Kafka novel. It's crazy. The guy is loopy. He has no idea. At that point, like you could see the synapses going, we can't fire. Danger,
Abort,
Will Robinson.
abort.
Danger. Yeah, it's like it can't happen. It's, oh my God. And then and Don Lemon has to see that. He has to see.
You know that he was squirming in that moment. He was like, come on, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it.
Right. And he voted for the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, these people are insufferable. Anyway.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you very much. So there were other clips. I'm not going to show them because it's just not worth our time, but I can just give you a brief summary of some of the crazier things that happened. There was a question about, and Don Lemon, I got to give him credit because I did hear this question where he said something along the lines of, you know, you keep spending a lot of money. Aren't you worried about the rising costs of everything? And like, aren't you worried about inflation? And Joe Biden's answer to that was to say, the more money we spend, the better inflation is going to be, essentially. It's going to reduce inflation, reduce inflation, reduce inflation, he said. He said it 3 times, like it would help if he said it more than once.
It's like Beetlejuice. Just say it 3 times. It's fine. Yeah.
And so that even prompted the CNN panel, who after the town hall, you know, they were doing their analysis, the CNN panel was like, I was not impressed, particularly with his answer about inflation. He did not present well on this, on that. I mean, they were like, yikes. CNN was like, yikes.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you don't know anything about economics, to me, that's like basic, right? That's just, and not even economic. You don't even have to have a degree in economics. That's just basic common sense. And he doesn't have that. No. Our president doesn't have that. Just sit with that for a second. It's okay. Go get some coffee. Come right back. We're going to be here. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah,
just sip that into your system.
Make sure you get that box from My Patriot Supply. It's fine. Everything's going to be okay, you guys. It's all good.
Oh my God.
Good Lord.
There were a couple, there was one, I think it was a misspeak, maybe. I never know with him, right? You just never know if he means the things that are coming out of his face or not. But there was a moment where, you know, he's promoting the vaccine, obviously. He was doing a lot of that. There was a moment where he said, if you get the vaccine, you're not going to get COVID. And I'm like, but you are. Let me introduce you to the Texas Democrats.
Right. Yeah. See Exhibit Texas. See, like all the other exhibits that we can show you, like throughout your administration, people who have gotten it, right? I mean, do we still know what happened to Kamala? Do we know? Is the jury out on that? I don't know.
Well, they did end up saying that she tested negative. So they did obviously test her. I don't know what Simone Sanders was talking about because she was like, you know, she doesn't need to be tested. Well, then later Psaki said that she tested negative. So
interesting. So they lied again. It's because she did test.
Surprise.
Yeah. Oh, look, they lied. Oh my God. They never lie to you ever. Oh, wait, they do. They do lie. Okay,
pretty
so
much all
there's
the time.
But I mean, like we've seen so many different cases of people, and we're going to talk about that too in a bit with like Eric Clapton and stuff, and people just with bans in general. People saying, "Oh, listen, the vaccine, you're not going to get it if you take the vaccine," but then they get it, and then it's like, well, I don't understand. I don't get what's going on. Anyway, you should get your booster shot, Mock.
Yeah, let me just get right on that. Thank you, Laura. Laura says, how in love are you with Jim Jordan? I need a Taco Bell survival kit. Yeah, so we're going to get to that story in just a minute. But I wanted to also mention that there was another moment from the town hall that's getting a lot of attention. And that was when there was an audience question. A small business owner basically stood up and said, what are you gonna do about all these people not coming back to work? Because I'm struggling to hire. There's nobody that's willing to work. They're getting paid too much to sit at home. And Joe Biden really bungled his way through that answer. And ultimately, he said two things that stood out. One of the things he said was, well, yeah, businesses like yours are gonna struggle for a while. So that was comforting. And then the second thing he said was, and you're just gonna have to pay more. You're gonna have to pay $15 an hour. That was his answer.
God. So which shows that he knows zero about small business because he's never actually run a business or known anything about business. He's been a government worker like forever, right?
Can you even?
Yeah, I can. Okay. Who's surprised by this though? Are you surprised?
No.
I mean, he has zero business sense. Wow. This is why people in America wanted to get somebody who understood business in that role. Is because if you ask that person that question, they would have an entirely different answer, which would be actually good for America because they would understand small business, because small business is the engine that runs this country. And when you start peeing all over it, it's gonna, that's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad. Again, My Patriot Supply. Y'all may want to check that out. No, I may want to just check out getting a box of that. Yeah, no pressure. Bad, you guys. Things are bad.
Yeah, and you know what? When you're not ordering your My Patriot Supply, you should be also ordering your pillows and your other products from mypillow.com.
Pillows, sweet pillows. My rancher friends last night they were asking me, they were like, do you really like My Pillow? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you really use them?
How have we not made that abundantly clear?
I go, yeah, I really use them. And I said, listen, you know what I really love the most is their towels. I'm like, and she goes, really? Do you really like? And I go, yeah, I swear to God. I go, they're like the best. I go, the towels they have this like absorbency technology in them where they're super soft and squishy and like hotel towels, the really soft ones that are like luxurious. I go, but they also absorb stuff. I go, so you got to try. I mean, if you're thinking about buying something, the pillows are awesome. I'm like, try the towels because the towels are pretty great. And if you get the
set
towels,
of 6 right now is just $39.99 for a set of 6. So now is the greatest time to try them, but only if you use code We got an email from Jody and Jason Brazelton from Hudson, Florida, saying, oh my gosh, ladies, I just received my slippers, which were a birthday gift from my daughter from another mother. We have new kittens, Grace and Hope. So we know kitten fur technology, and you are 100% right. They are amazing. My feet may never come out of them. This just confirms that we must have the sheets. Keep doing what you do, Jody and Jason. And she said, P.S., we've got your hottie governor, and he is the best.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
So anyway, mypillow.com, 1-800-875-0513 to get your towels, your sheets, your slippers, your pillows, whatever. You're going to love whatever you get from there. We promise. Okay, so I know everybody's just raring to go about this whole Pelosi, Kevin McCarthy fight. So if you haven't heard what's going on with that, essentially Pelosi, it's been decided several weeks ago that there's going to be this commission put together, this bipartisan commission to figure out what happened on January 6th, to, investigate that to death, right? So historically, whenever there is a bipartisan committee made up of Congress people, the minority leader and the majority leader choose their people, right? Like they choose, here's who I want on the committee from the Republican side, here's who I want from the Democrat side. And there's never an argument about that. Everyone has always, since the beginning of time, respected each other's decisions about that because that's just what you do. And so, without precedent whatsoever, Pelosi decided that of the 5 people that Kevin McCarthy chose to be part of this committee, including Jim Jordan and Jim Banks, she was saying no to those 2. She was like, I'm okay with the other 3, but I don't want Jim Jordan and I don't want Jim Banks on this committee. This has never been done. Like, this is not something that happens with any regularity. This is super unprecedented. And so Kevin McCarthy flew into a rage, and rightly so. And he was like, then I'm pulling all of them. And we're not going to participate in your sham ass committee because it's all bullshit. And we're not playing.
It is a sham ass committee. And that's exactly. And that's exactly what she's doing here. She's unbelievable. She is so on a power trip right now. Like, she's been on a power trip for a really long time at this point, but she is so power hungry and power driven. It's obvious at this point. If you can't see that your head's so far up your butt as a Democrat, that's exactly what this is. It's a power trip. That's what it is. She's like, I feel like I can do this. I'm going to try to do it. She's going to try to like do this boundary thing. That's what this is.
I know. God,
this woman
insane.
Out of control. This is why we need term limits, because of people like her. People like her who have been in this position for how long, and she's been doing this for how long. She's never had a real job. This woman is a disgrace. God, Nancy Pelosi. Nancy with the tearing. Remember with the tearing?
Oh,
remember?
God. Why'd you have to bring that up?
Because
I kind of put that memory out of my head.
You did. Every time I think about her, that's what I think of. I think of that vision of her just tearing that face.
That face.
Thinking she's like defiant and doing something wonderful when she's just spitting in the faces of the American people who put her in that position of, she's just a disgrace to the institution.
Thank you, Lori308. Thank you very much for that super sticker. By the way, Liz Cheney came out and said, yeah, I think Nancy Pelosi's right. I think she did the right thing. And Kevin McCarthy shouldn't be leader. I mean, I cannot believe that people
what is going on
still
with her?
Supporting her.
Right. What is like Liz Cheney? What do you like? Oh my gosh. I know. I saw that yesterday.
She's just changed.
Who are you? Yeah.
I know.
Like, just be a Democrat already. Go ahead and just switch sides. What is your deal? You're about as conservative and Republican as Anna Navarro at this point.
Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Over her. Yeah. Like, God, it's.
So it sounds like McCarthy's saying we're just going to do our own investigation because the committee with Democrats, they are not going to ask the questions that we would have asked. We would have been asking things like, why was the Capitol so unprepared? What was Pelosi's role in holding back police? We would have asked these questions. Now they're not going to get asked by this committee. So we'll just do it ourselves and we'll figure it out on our own.
A bigger question here is, why is she so scared of those 2 guys? What is it about those 2 guys that she doesn't want on that investigative panel or committee or whatever? What is it about them? Why doesn't she like them? Is it because she knows they're going to ask really hard questions that she doesn't want asked? Is that what it is? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, everybody, that's the thing. It's like, if she's like putting forth this power and going on this power trip, but at the end of the day, there's a reason for it. She's scared. It's like, if she's scared of something. She's scared of those 2 men.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. She's scared. It's just utter nonsense. And you could see Kevin McCarthy's rage. I mean, he was mad. And
rightly so. Rightly so. Yeah.
Rightly so.
It's just
is right.
Absolutely unacceptable. And somebody's saying that they want to control the narrative. It's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. She wants to control how things are. She's losing control. She feels like she's losing control. So she's like, oh my God, I can't have this because I can't have these 2 men on this committee. So I'm going to go ahead and try to, put forth my control. No, it's unbelievable. No, you don't get to control the narrative here. It's an investigation. That's what this is. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's just unbelievable to me.
It is.
That's not what this country is about. It's like we're supposed to have the equal sides and the true investigation. And I can't believe she can't see that.
Can't you though?
Yeah. Okay. You're right. You're right.
I mean, really, none of it's a surprise. It's just that she's so brazen about it anymore. I mean,
maybe
That's how it is now.
Yeah, perhaps that's why. That's my surprise is that Democrats are just in her, they're just so outward about it. It's like we want to control the narrative. We want to be in control of everything. We want to control your lives. We want to control the narrative, your lives, everything. We want to control this country. And then we want to run it into the ground. That's what we want to do. Unbelievable.
Well, and just going back to that town hall for a second, one of the other things that Biden said that's raising some eyebrows is that he believes, now he's not saying I am mandating, but he believes that because of this whole Delta variant exploding, that we're going to have all kids under the age of 12 masked up for school this fall because there's not a vaccine available to younger than 12 right now. So he thinks that that's where we're headed. Now, how that's going to happen, I don't know, because there's not going to be, as far as I know, there's not going to be a federal mandate. And of course, states can choose how they're going to do that. Like Texas, for example, they say you're not allowed to have a mandate on masks for kids. So I don't know what's going to happen. I was like really relieved. I don't think this is going to last, but I was relieved to hear from my kids' school yesterday that their plan is that they encourage masks for kids who have not gotten vaccinated, but they are not requiring them. And that is exactly how it should be. And so I was glad. I was surprised, but also very glad. That could totally change by the end of the week. Who knows? But at least for now, that's what they're saying. And so for Biden to say that last night, it was like jarring, right? For him to start saying, get ready for more, restrictions again. No.
Yeah. I live in Texas, so I don't really see Abbott being on board with the whole mask thing. Cause we've already people, there's nobody around where I live. I threw all my masks away. They're all gone. And the whole notion of me going and buying a bunch more masks now, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do. And then my kid wearing a mask in school. No. Yeah. There's going to be some chaos if you start mandating that kids wear masks in schools.
Well, that's the thing. That's the question, because if Biden is saying it, it kind of suggests that there could be a federal mandate, which means Governor Abbott wouldn't have any say. You know what I mean?
But there will
really
be
scary.
I just really, if he does that federally, there are going to be issues in this country. We're going to see I need to watch my words carefully here. We're going to see, I don't want to, what do
reaction.
I say? How do I say this
We're going to see reaction.
A reaction.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. We're going to see a reaction to the action. And it's not going to be a pretty one.
I don't think it will. I think people are just so fed up. The other day, remember how I hurt my knee? So when I went to the ortho, I no longer carry masks with me either, because everybody's open, right? Everything's been open. And apparently doctors' offices here in India, at least, still require them. So when I went in, I was like, I saw the signs on the door and I was like, oh crap. And so I had to borrow one, or they had to give me one of those disposable ones when I walked in. So you're right. I mean, people are done. I mean, most normal people have thrown their masks away because they know they don't actually do much of anything to prevent the spread. They just don't. Right. So I don't know why. Haven't we learned that? Look at California, for example. If you look at the graphs of when they implement a mask mandate compared to the case numbers rising and falling, there's no correlation. Masks do not help with stopping cases. And so I don't know why. I don't even know why this is still a thing.
Your data and your numbers and your just there. It makes those people feel better. It's all about the feels, Mark. Everything is policy now is based on feels. Politics is based on feels. It's not about data. It's not about actual reality. It's about feels. So yeah, it makes them feel good. And then they can virtue signal and be like, I'm so much better than you. I'm better than you because I'm wearing this face diaper. I'm doing that. So I'm better. And I care more about people than you do. You're a terrible person, Mock. You're terrible.
Well, Eric Clapton is also being called a terrible person because he released a statement saying that he reserves the right to refuse to play at any venues that only allow vaccinated people in them. So, half of the people are like, you go, Eric Clapton, that's awesome. And then the other half are like, you're an asshole.
I love Eric Clapton. I saw him in, like, I think it was 92 or 93 at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. It was like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. He's freaking awesome. I love him. I love him. And I love him for this because it's kind of like, this whole mentality of groupthink is very non-rocker. It's to me, and I feel like so many of these rockers are they're falling into the groupthink, and they're not, to me, that's not what a rocker does. And Eric Clapton's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to think how I want to think and be an individual, because that is what, like, at least the old rockers do. So it's very different. It's like such a strange dichotomy between him and like the Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
Who, I got to tell you, I love the Foo Fighters. I mean, I love their music. I was a huge fan for a really long time until they're like one of their people told us to stop using their music on our show.
Right.
Because we're conservative women, because they're a bunch of commies too. So, but I do love their music. And I hate that I love their music, but I do. But the thing is that they have fallen into this whole group thing. Like, it's really strange. There's not a lot of like, it shouldn't be, it's not a political thing, but it's like, at least it's a thing of thinking for yourself, And right now there's just this notion of, no, you have to think this way or you're a bad person, it goes against what the rockers of yore used to do. You know what I mean?
Well, and the Foos are currently in the middle of a vaccinated only tour, which they had to cancel because one of them is sick with COVID. And I don't know if it's one of the band members or one of their crew. They're not saying, but I suspect that all of them are vaccinated.
Right.
So again, to Joe Biden's point, trying to say that if you get the vaccine, you're not going to get COVID, I present to you the Foos, who have just canceled their vaccinated only concert.
Right. And they actually, and they did that whole Vax Live thing with like J-Lo and all these other people who were all like, the groupthink people. They did that several months ago, and they did that with them. And they were like, everybody get vaccinated. I don't know. They probably sang a song about it. Get vaccinated. They did all the, the whatever. And now this happens. So what is the media going to talk to us about that? Because again, with the misinformation, people don't trust the government. And they don't trust these people because of crap like this. This is why. This is why. Because you don't get a straight answer, because people are, because Joe Biden is telling you, if you get vaccinated, you're not going to get COVID. Really? Because that guy in Foo Fighters got it, and those Texas Democrats got it, and that other guy got it. So I don't believe you, because you're lying. You're lying because you don't know what you're talking about.
And you suck at messaging so hard. Thank you, Deborah Rossetti. She says, I read 48 fully vaccinated people die in New Jersey from COVID, maybe? I don't know. She said do. I haven't seen that story, so I don't know anything about that story. Thank you, John Hansen. Thank you very much for that. Do we have time for talks, or do you have to rush away?
We can do talks really quick, and then I'll just head out the door. I'll just bust on out of here. Fly down the highway.
Then I'll save the longer talk for tomorrow, because it's a really, really good one, and I'll just show you 2 cute dogs today. Deal?
I love 2 cute dogs.
Okay, this one. Look at this.
Oh, no.
He made a snoot hole.
He made a snoot.
Is that the cutest thing you ever saw?
Oh my God, I love him.
He made a snoot hole.
But this is further proof as to why, if you're a dog owner, you can't have nice things. It's just
you can't.
You can't. You're not gonna have nice furniture. You're not gonna have nice things. Just know that. Know that going in. It's fine.
That's exactly right. All right, just watch this. This cracks me up. Look at that dog. He's just sitting there. He's just sitting there and staring.
What is he doing? He's like, you can't see me. You can't. I'm immersed. He's immersed in the water.
Still, though. Like, look at how still the water is. He's not moving a muscle.
He's kind of creeping me out a little bit. A little bit creepy.
I love
him. I love him
anyway,
too.
The other one's too long to play you. I'm going to definitely save it for tomorrow, because it's a good one.
Okay. All right. So we got to everything. That's good. We got to everything, you guys.
Except for Nicole Kidman's hair. We didn't get to that. Nicole
you
Kidman
want,
chopped off all of her hair.
you want me to show you that really quick before we go, you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
that's it's really important for me to show you that. Did you see it?
I mean, look at that.
Right.
It's all choppy chopped.
It is daring, I will say, because the Daily Mail says it's daring. And I agree with that because her hair has curl in it.
She's always had long hair.
Just putting it out there. When your hair has curl in it and you go pixie, I mean, you risk having some sort of an afro. So, I'm just saying it's her hair is very curly. It's super cute.
Yeah,
so she's gonna have to straighten that. It's so cute, you guys. So anyways, there you go. That's your celebrity news. I know everybody's very excited about that. Somebody said, kind of Karen. Really? I don't think it's Karen-y. I think it's very 60s looking.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a Karen cut.
No, I don't think it's a Karen cut at all. I think it's
and if she doesn't like it, she can grow it back. That's what hair does.
Right, so exactly. Totally. All right, you guys, bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.